what's up? Welcome to another episode of Mylo's Mansion. This time with singer-songwriter, good friend Raffie.
Hello.
How's life?
It's good. It's good. Very good. Thank you for having me on the
Always.
podcast. Really nice to be here.
Probably info not a lot of people know. Raffie also co-wrote Written in the Sky that we released, a couple months ago now.
Yeah.
I don't know, being a songwriter, because that's how we first got to know each other.
Yeah.
I think we're also signed to the same publishing company, right? Or
Well, it's my label and you're a publisher.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So still kind of connected, but
Because you're with BMG, if I'm
publishing with BMG.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Errol.
Errol.
Legend.
Shout out. I don't know.
Shout out to Errol,
Yeah.
legend.
I will send this to him now because 100%.
So I don't know, like writing music. For me, I think I got introduced to like songwriting because I used to be like the nerd producer that was just like free, like, you know, messing around with sounds and like fucking around with FL Studio. Then I think, well, I signed with the publishing company then, and they were like, yeah, you can like, you know, write your own songs, like, and like, you know, actually tell stories instead of just having like instrumental shit. How did that all started for you? Like,
I really started writing songs when I was really young. And the first song I ever wrote was called "I Just Want to Be a Defender" because I was like a striker and I didn't want to score all the goals. And I was like in my football team, and I was like, oh, why do I have to score all the goals? I just want to be a defender. Like really weird song when I was like 8 years old. And there was always a piano in our house, so I just started like hitting the piano.
Right.
And after like 10 years, it sounded like chords basically, and it started to sound a bit good. And I kind of just rolled into the industry, and I was always like obsessed with lyrics and songs, and it was a process. It wasn't like it didn't go very fast. I think you need to have talent, and maybe I had talent, but it was still like a lot of hard work and like learning different things. And it's funny that you say like you started to realize that you can also write songs after being a producer.
Yeah.
For me, it was the other way around because I started to produce after that as well. I'm not a good producer yet, but it was a long journey, and the way I got into the industry was really weird because I did like a school course, Abbey Road Institute, and I started to learn songwriting there and producing and mixing and all that stuff. And I didn't really know anything about being a songwriter in the industry. And I had a masterclass from a guy called Robin Simonsen who was doing like a masterclass about songwriting and publishers. And then I realized, oh shit, you can be a songwriter and write songs for other artists. Because I was always writing songs for myself, but I didn't really know what to do with them. And then the whole new world opened. I was like, okay, I can write songs, send it to people. I don't know why that didn't click earlier. And then that kind of started happening. And I was like, okay, I have a lot of pop songs in, you know, not necessarily dance songs, but like top lines or pop songs that I kind of started to send out to people. And I remember like the first person that responded was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. I was like, oh, he wants to release it now. And then I like a release. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And then it kind of just started rolling and meeting a lot of cool people along the way and just writing a lot of cool songs.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's always funny. Like, I think not a lot of people know that in general. Like, there's like so many songwriters that like actually like create the songs.
Yeah.
Like, it's usually artists, which is not a bad thing because it's a very busy life being an artist and like touring and like, you know, doing all the stuff that comes with being an artist, PR and whatnot. Like, so it's not necessarily a weird thing to like have other people involved writing songs, but I know that maybe not a lot of people really know that there's like, for most songs, there's like a whole group of people writing the song together, and it's not like all one artist sitting in their wherever bedroom and like writing every song they release.
Yeah, and especially now you have like sometimes 12 writers on a song. It's like, wait, what's going on? And then sometimes it's like the artist, and then they have like 4 producers, and they're all in the songwriting credits and the 4 songwriters, and you don't even know like who's doing what anymore. But there's a lot of people working on songs, which is a very strange thing.
I mean, even for Written in the Sky, it was like, I got a demo from you guys.
Yeah.
which had a vocal, and you guys like already had the chords and everything. And then I ended up writing a different vocal on it with other songwriters. So yeah, then it was like, I don't know, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, six
Like
of
six,
us.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
But it's fun, like how, like you get like a part of a song and you bring in other people and it turns into something completely different again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like when I'm writing songs and sending it to DJs, and then, you know, of course you want them to say like, oh, this is amazing, like I'm gonna work on it, we'll release it in 2 weeks. It's like, okay, nice. But usually it doesn't go that way.
Yeah,
so I really like it actually, and it's like new and kind of refreshing when a DJ or artist goes like, okay, this is dope, I'm gonna take the chorus melody, write a new verse, and like change the topic in the second verse or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you actually know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people just they're like, oh, send me the acapella, and they just put it in and like put it in Logic, and that's it. So it's really cool, like what you did, that you changed the whole song. Like I think you took the chorus melody or like the drop melody and made that the lead sound, but then you still kind of took certain aspects of the chords, and it's like, okay, then it's a new thing happening, and it's like teamwork in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of just, okay, send me the acapella and I'll swipe it in, you know.
Yeah, I'm always like with most of, I think I have like maybe 2 or 3 songs where I actually just like took the top line and just made the production around it. But I really love to like get involved in the actual songwriting process.
Yeah.
Like, I will admit I'm not great at like writing lyrics, but like melodically, I love to really get involved and like nail all the melodies and stuff, and like. But like,
yeah,
when
I remember when we were in the studio.
Yeah.
It not that it surprised me, but it kind of surprised me. I remember we were writing like a pre-chorus. I probably don't remember this, but and you were like, no, change the rhythm, the rhythmic connotation of this and that. I was like, what the hell? Like, what is this guy talking? I don't even know what he's talking about, like songwriting style, you know. And I remember you were like you really heard the melody of the pre-chorus, and it rolled way better into the chorus. And that's like, okay, maybe in your head you're not like a songwriter, but you just feel certain things and hear certain things.
Exactly.
And that's also like, if you do things on intuition and you're improving the song, then you're still a songwriter.
Yeah,
You're definitely a songwriter.
I mean, that's what I'm always like curious about when you're like writing, because like you're in the studio like whatever 4 days a week, sessions every day. I mean, how do you come up with shit to write about? You know, that's what like my hardest thing always, like getting to get like a theme for the song and like a subject and like a story every single time.
I have such an interesting life. I have so much stuff to write. No, I mean, a lot of stuff is like, you write stuff that you experience in real life, but also most of the stuff is probably made up. Because it's kind of like, and you know, 99% of songs are about love. So you just kind of create themes within love or other stuff. It doesn't have to be love, of course, but I feel like I'm always making stuff up that can sound cool in a song.
Yeah.
And of course, as you said, I'm doing a lot of sessions, so I'm also working with people and, you know, collaborating. So thank God not all the ideas have to come from me.
Yeah, true.
Otherwise it would be, I wouldn't have that many songs probably. But yeah, it's I don't even know, to be honest, like how I come up with stuff every day, or how
so random sometimes.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, a lot of songwriters or producers, they come into a session with like ideas ready. I'm usually not one of those. I always kind of just go in blank and see what happens, with the risk that sometimes you don't come up with anything. But yeah, you have to risk it sometimes.
True.
But I kind of just make stuff up, and I feel like, of course, when I'm doing like dance or pop stuff, it has to be poppy, hooky, and kind of simple in a way. Because if it's too complicated, you're not like a poet necessarily. So I feel like just coming up with short hooks, especially in dance, it's always kind of enough. Even when you come up with a very simple thing, it's like, oh, this is maybe too simple, then usually it's already good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like if you start to over complicate it, then I remember I have like these songs, and then I have the chorus, and like, okay, it's a very simple chorus, it's too simple, so let's create like a post chorus that, and then I send it to the DJ, and they're like, yo, I took out the whole post chorus and the pre, by the way, although the verse we can get rid of that, just give me the hook. I was like, okay, yeah, makes sense, you know.
Yeah, that's, I don't know, I love to, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to bash anyone, but I don't know, I really love to like kind of
You can bash, actually, you can bash some people, don't worry,
True.
don't worry, I won't judge you.
I love to like really blend like pop and like dance, like, you know, people that listen to my music will know that there's like always like a, which some people say, sometimes I get like feedback, which I hear a lot from publishers. Don't bore us. Get to the chorus.
Don't bore us. Get to the chorus. Yeah. Love that one.
I'm like,
or actually, just start with the chorus. Why
true.
not?
Happens a lot in a lot of songs.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I just like the whole storytelling and like getting into the mood and then like kind of like bringing you towards the chorus. Well, nowadays it's a lot like, you know, it has to be like quick. Like you only get people's attention for like this long.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I know. I'm kind of sad. It's like that way, but like with TikTok and everything, it keeps getting faster.
That's definitely like the trend now, to keep it as short as possible. Like if you send a song that's over 3 minutes, then an A&R will just look at you like, this is not TikTok friendly. It's like, no, I don't know. It's not TikTok friendly, but it's a good song. But yeah, I think if you have a song now that's like 2 minutes 30, and it's like something like that, then everyone's happy.
Yeah, I mean, I remember like from like, I don't know, this is maybe 2015, like some label contracts, they had like a clause in there like that a song had to be like a minimum of like 2 minutes 30 or something like that. Now it's like, whatever, a song could be like a minute and 30. I mean, I feel like that's probably where we're heading. That like some pop songs will be like a minute and a half, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, that's almost like the TikTok thing, like a TikTok video. But I feel it makes sense, you know, because obviously like a stream, you get a stream after 30 seconds. True. So if a song is short, then you just kind of replay it all the time and you get more streams. So I guess, you know, commercially it makes sense. But especially if you're trying to tell a story like you really do with a lot of your songs, it's a pity that it's all about speed and like get to the hook, and it's all about the hook. But I think also like in your style of dance music, which a lot of people are struggling with, in a way, like you're really telling a story also when it comes to playing the songs live, and when people are hearing your songs. Like I remember, you know, I read the comments when songs get released and you're like promoting, and everyone in your comments like, oh, the lyrics are so good, and it's like, can't wait to hear this live, and, you know, close my eyes and think about the story. And I think that's more, to me, that's more important than have 100%. Like one more stream because the song is short. You know what I mean?
True, 100%. Let's get into something juicy.
Oh,
well, it's not that juicy.
That's me.
I was like, there's a big thing going on with like songwriters and like getting master points, getting fair publishing splits, and whatnot. What's your take on all that?
I feel like, well, it's a difficult thing, of course, but I do a lot of dance music, as you know, and if you're doing dance music as a songwriter, you're usually already on the master if you're delivering the vocal. True. So it's a very different story. Like as when I'm doing pop music for like Dutch pop artists or other pop artists, if I email the label like, yo, can I get like 5% or like at least 1% of the master, they'll look at you like, what are you talking about, master? So it's a very different thing. And in dance music, it's very, you know, it's quite common to get like 30% of the artist share if you're a vocalist or the team of the vocalist. So I think it's a different thing, and it's very, let's say, financially interesting to do dance music in that way if you're a songwriter, because you get points on the master, but obviously if you're the vocalist, not necessarily if you're only the songwriter. But I mean, for me, it's not more than fair to have songwriters be on the master points, especially because the industry is changing a lot, and, you know, publishing is worth way less these days. Unless you have a big radio hit. Sure. But also, like, you know, I feel like a lot of genres of dance music, I don't know how you've experienced this with your music or with your genre, are getting played less on the radio, I feel like.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's...
Unfortunately.
So it's, you know, as a songwriter, let's say you're not the vocalist and only a songwriter, then, of course, it's great to have a lot of cuts with a lot of DJs, but if your songs don't get played on the radio and you're only the songwriter, then you have to really... If you're only relying on publishing income, then you're relying on them playing it live a lot, which maybe they're not doing a lot of gigs or they don't play that song live. Because I remember sometimes I have like let's say a commercial cut, and it's more like a commercial radio friendly song with a DJ that is not getting played on the radio.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, nice. We have like a commercial radio friendly song that's gonna get played on the radio. Doesn't get played on the radio. Also, they won't play it live in their set because it's not like a club banger or like a festival banger. So then what's gonna happen to the song? I mean, yeah, streaming of course, but so it's a interesting thing. But I know that I know that you're quite friendly in your deals, if I may say. I'm not to give any hope to any future songwriter, but I feel like you're someone that also, you know, works together with the songwriters and realizes, okay, the most important thing after you have the song is to have a fair deal and to have everyone be happy.
I mean, it's obviously like there's people have to come to a studio, travel there, which is obviously not free. Spend the whole day working together. I mean, yeah, we all have bills to pay, so it's you can only expect that much from people. And I mean, I know because I know what publishing looks like.
Yeah.
I won't say I'm like struggling with it, but like, you know, it's not. A lot of people think you get paid a lot by like writing a song or whatever, but there's even like hit songs that like only blow up on like Spotify or TikTok or whatever and don't necessarily get like any radio airplay.
Yeah.
Still doesn't make that much money.
No.
Because like I don't know exact numbers, but like the share in like Spotify that's publishing is like so small. And like, so yeah, obviously like you're writing a song together, you're creating the song together, then how can only like the artist benefit from it?
Yeah.
I mean, I get that it's like the artist that's like investing, that's putting up like his money to like promote the song and whatever, but if the songwriters weren't there wouldn't be a song in general.
I mean, yeah, of course there's a lot of different ways to look at it, but I've had that discussion many times, and you know, without songwriters there's no songs. So, you know, that's a strange thing as well. Like, of course, in the end of the day, it's the artist releasing the song, and the whole industry is, you know, about the artist in a way. Yeah. But yeah, without the songwriters, there would be no songs for the artists. So it's a strange thing, but yeah, we can talk about that for ages. You know,
there's one thing that I get, but also I'm like, I don't really get, because now there's like also a thing going on that there's, if the artist is not involved, like writing the song, a lot of people think they also shouldn't be getting publishing points.
Right. I mean, that's also a thing that like I've had that quite a few times, that I've been with co-writers and they say like, okay, why are we giving the DJ like publishing if they're not doing? And it's like, okay, but yeah, they're also giving us like master. Like it's all about like meeting in the middle. But yeah, sometimes a DJ says, I want 50% publishing, like 50% for the DJ, 50% for the songwriters. Yeah. But we're with 4 songwriters and it's 1 DJ, and it's kind of like, so that's a tough thing. I'm always looking for like a fair thing, a fair deal, and a way to make everyone happy, which sometimes happens and sometimes it doesn't happen.
True.
But yeah, it's also about, you know, looking at the song. It depends on the song.
True.
And on the situation. But for example, like Written in the Sky that we did is like a thing that it's difficult to make a deal in a way, or like a split, because you have 6 writers and they're all like in different aspects and different like process and part of the song. So it's usually not like, okay, you go into a room with 3 people write the song, okay, it's a 3-way split and everyone's done, because the song has to go to an artist. The artist has a manager that's like, hey, maybe we can get a couple more % there. So it's always a new thing. And I mean, yeah, doing a lot of dance music, as you will probably know also from experience, there's some people that are more like fair and more, you know, how do you say it? Like, I don't want to like.
I mean, some people are like hardcore with like negotiations.
Yeah.
Like there are certain top lines that I sometimes get, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's this guy again.
From songwriters, you mean? Yeah. That's another thing. Like, because I'm also talking maybe about DJs, that DJs are like very heavy on deals, but songwriters can also be very heavy on deals. I mean, songwriters can be ruthless as well. I mean, they're you know, they say like, oh, we're not gonna earn money with that DJ, so let's put it to that DJ.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, of course, like the financial aspect is important because, as you said, like we all have bills to pay, But for me, like I'm not in the studio like with like dollar signs in my eyes, like trying to make like of course you want to write like a hit that gets to a big artist, but I mean, for me, seeing this song being played live and people singing along with it, and the seeing people be like connected with a song that I wrote. And you probably have it when you play live, or the song you produce, and it's like these people are like jumping and like having the time of their lives to a song that I made. That's way more fulfilling to me than like having 1,000 more of a vocal fee. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Your Dutch music career?
We have to go there. What? How'd you get this?
No idea.
With Hardwell. I'm like 14 and I snuck into Ushuaia.
Sick.
No, I'm not 14. I think I'm like 16.
Well, still underage.
Yeah, still underage. Don't tell the owners of Ushuaia. But I snuck into to Ushuaia. Oh, that's a really funny story, by the way. If I can tell it real quick. I have to tell it now. I grew up in Ibiza, so I was always there, and going back and forth. And when I was like 16, I was like ready to go to the clubs. So I tried to get into Ushuaia, and I had a fake ID, which was like a fake driver's license or something. And I went, and I speak Spanish as well. So I went to the security. I gave them the ID, and I was like super confident. And the guy says in Spanish to the other guy, "This is the worst fake ID I've ever seen." And I'm like, "Shit!" And I'm like in Spanish, "No, it's real, it's real." And I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna call the police." And in the end, I didn't get in. And then I kind of just walked away from Ushuaia, and this photographer that I knew, he like tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, "Yo, you want to come with us to Ushuaia?" And he was with Sonnery James and Ryan Marciano. So I just walked behind them, like behind this back, and then we got in. And then I saw the security guard that didn't let me in. I saw him at the like backstage entry. And I was like, "Yo, what's up, man?"
Did he say anything?
No, he looked at me a bit like, "What the hell," And yeah, but it was good. I got in the end. I got in.
Ibiza, always great times.
Always stuff happening. Yeah. Now you have to tell me your crazy Ibiza stories, though.
Oof.
Ooh.
About talking about underage stuff at the club. I was underage when I first started playing in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
And I mean the U.S.
How old were you the first time?
I think like 19 or something.
Oh, yeah.
And like I know in the U.S. like it's always very very strict with like 21 because like they lose their license and whatnot. Like when I had played there, I literally security took me into the club, DJ, and then straight out.
So do you get like dumped behind like a dumpster after the show?
Almost
here
feels
you have
like
your Grey
it.
Goose from your rider, like fuck off.
Almost feels like it.
Yeah, really.
But one time they kind of like, I stopped playing and I kind of like, snuck back into the DJ booth and they kind of forgot about me. And then like after half an hour, like the artist handler, he spotted me and it was like, he got like fucking pissed. Like you have to get the fuck out of here. And they kicked me out. And like at the pool party, I could literally see the pool like from my hotel room. So I was like left straight after and I was like sitting in my room like, really?
Yeah. Yeah, they don't. They're not gonna be like, oh yeah, just stay a bit there, like in the corner. They have to kick you out.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
It's not Europe. Like in Europe, we're all chill and like not that. Which is, I know you can say something for both, but here it's like whatever. I mean, probably the first times I started like drinking with friends, I was like maybe 14.
Yeah.
In the US, that's nuts.
Yeah.
But your Dutch music career,
you're
Dutch not escaping from it.
No, I want to talk about it. I'm sure your like DJ fans are interested in my Dutch pop career.
No, I don't know. It's just funny, like how, because I think you started getting successful first with like dance music and like writing top lines for DJs. What made you decide to like just get into like Dutch pop music?
It was really random actually because my head space was like, I'm a songwriter, I'm a top liner, working with and for artists, which I was really happy doing that. And then I had a session with two guys that I do all my Dutch stuff with. And we were basically writing a song to pitch out, like a Dutch pop song. And then I sang the demo, and they were like, "Wait, why are we gonna pitch this? This is you." And I was like, "Yeah, but I'm a songwriter. I'm not an artist anymore." And they were like, "No, this is you. Like, this is your song." And that was like Aan, which was my first Dutch single.
Sick.
And it was kind of like, okay, this song is too good to, pitch out maybe, and we have to do it ourselves. And then we did a couple more sessions, and it just became this project. It was very random and spontaneous. And then after a while, we had like 10 songs, all kind of good songs probably. And then we started to send it out to labels and see who was interested in working together. And then we landed at CTM with Bo. Shout out to Bo. And yeah, it kind of just happened spontaneously. And I really my favorite thing about doing music is also to be able to do a different thing every day. Because like my nightmare, let's say, or not nightmare, but like my least favorite thing is to do the same thing every day and be like, okay, I'm gonna repeat it all again. Like, one day I'm doing a Dutch pop song, the next day I'm doing like a dance record. I speak Spanish, so the one day I'm doing like a Spanish song with Rolf Sanchez or whatever, or like a reggaeton thing. So I'm doing different stuff all the time, which is, it's my favorite thing about music, that there's so many different options to do, and it's always refreshing and keeping me young,
I mean, very lucky to be able to probably 90% of the world just to have like a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
And basically
nothing wrong with
nothing
that.
wrong with it, but do the same thing day in, day out.
Yeah.
Very fortunate to be be able to do random things and whatever, just doing different stuff every day.
I tried the normal life. I went to study business, and then after a month I was like, nah, I just want to write songs at home. So I told my parents, like, I'm going to write songs for a year at home and I'm going to stop my business studies. And they were like, what? No, they were really supportive.
Yeah, I wanted to study rocket science.
Really?
Yeah, for real.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Did you ever study, or like?
No.
You finished high school though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was literally like,
because you were already like a teen sensation. You were like 14. You already playing in Vegas. Like, but did you manage to finish high school?
Yeah, I did finish high school, and then I was like, okay, I'm either gonna study rocket science, or I'm gonna, give music a chance.
What a different thing! As well. Like rocket science.
I wanted to do like aerospace engineering.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
But did you want to be an astronaut as well? Or when you were young?
I mean, my dream job was to be a pilot.
Oh yeah.
And
now you pay the pilots to fly private everywhere. There you go. You beat the system. You beat the system.
So yeah, that is a very different turn, but in the end it turned out kind of okay, I guess.
Yeah. But you didn't, like, right after high school you were already DJing.
Yeah.
So you never even thought about study at that point. No. Yeah. No regrets.
Crazy, no regrets.
Not yet.
No regrets. Cool. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having me, man.
Good conversation.
Yeah.
I always loved to talk about songs, writing songs.
Sunray James. 10 years later, after he snuck me into Ushuaia,
memories.
we were in the studio together.
See you guys
Thanks
in the
for
next
having me,
episode, and take care.